Welcome back, everyone, and we have an example of how a sitting Democrat doesn't know how things work, yet again. Apparently, Kirsten Gillibrand has pledged that she will serve the next 6 years if she is reelected New York Senator. Now, Senator Gillibrand is considered a potential Democratic candidate for president in 2020, and also is running for reelection to the U.S. Senate. One wonders how she plans to serve out her 6 year term should she manage to somehow get elected president. Now, there are some precedents for running for two offices, and that would be the LBJ law passed April 27, 1959, which he championed in the state to allow someone to run for president or vice president while serving in the U.S. Senate. Prior to this, you actually had to resign your office to run for another office so that someone could step in and actually do the stinking job. I personally think that should be a federal law. You're not allowed to run for Congress or for the Senate if you're a member of the House. Or you're not allowed to run for president or vice president if you're a member of the House or Senate. If you're sitting on a federal bench and you want to run for senator, you can't be on the bench and run for the office. The reason is, very simply, your campaign is going to take up a lot of time. And what we're going to see is that Senator Gillibrand and Harris, Sanders, and everyone else who's sitting in Congress right now on the Democrat side, who is throwing their name into the hat for president in 2020, they're not going to be there when the Senate or the House is in session. Their vote, therefore, will not be cast. Or they'll be cast by proxy, which means they're delegating their job to a staffer or to another representative or senator, but they're not doing their job and still drawing their pay. I would love to know how that is even logical, even to a liberal. You're going to pay me for a job I'm not doing. And yes, I realize that's a bit of an ironic statement because, of course, they're actually championing doing just that. Pay everyone a living wage, whether they want to work or not. And I would love to see someone actually ask Senator Gillibrand this question. And I would love to see them stand up and say, Senator Gillibrand, you are running for re-election to the Senate, representing the state of New York in 2020. You're also working to become the Democratic National Committee nominee for president in 2020. You've pledged that you will serve the next 6 years if re-elected New York Senator. How are you going to do that if you are saying you're going to be president? Are you going to just wait and see which one? What happens if both of them actually go your way? How do you plan to serve your 6 years as senator if you're actually running for an office that would not allow that? And of course, just like when Kamala was asked about felons voting for prison, or Biden asked about how he planned to pay for illegal alien health care, they're going to divert. Biden just mumbles and moves on. Kamala says, we can have that conversation, and then moves on, even though she was actually at a town hall to have a conversation. Gillibrand would, of course, sputter a bit and then tell you, you just don't understand the finer points of politics. And of course, the media is not reporting on this. The Democrats don't care because it's not a Democrat running against her, it's a Republican. And they can't stand the idea that they might have to give up a seat. And of course, Gillibrand can't stand the idea of not having her cushy Senate job if she's not able to get the nomination for president. But honestly, we need to stop this crap. We need to stop this 23, 24, whatever it is now, people declare their candidacy for president while serving in another government position, which they now are neglecting because they want to be president. Now, of course, we also get her stance on everything. She's not going to detain anyone, and abortion for anyone and everyone at any time, and we need to raise taxes on the rich, which will run out, which will change what rich means. This is honestly just another one of many people who don't care if you actually can spot the crap they're spewing. That being, I want to be your senator. I also want to be your president. I'm running for both, and if I get elected for both, I'll do both, but I can't do both. So then I'll have to resign the Senate seat and let our Democrat governor appoint someone. And you can bet that if she managed to steal the White House and then resigned her seat in the Senate, you can bet she would probably be all over social media and all over the state of New York talking up exactly one person, and that's whoever is going to fill her liberal shoes. I've talked about this in the past, and it's relevant here as well. The Convention of States movement, it is a true grassroots movement pushing for an Article 5 Convention of States. There are two ways to amend the Constitution. Two-thirds of the House and two-thirds of the Senate pass the amendment. Same amendment, it's then sent to all 50 states, where three-quarters of the 50 states, or 38, must ratify. Until it's ratified, it's as useless as the paper it's written on. There's another way, though. You see, two-thirds of the 50 states, that being 34, can call for a convention, and then at that point, the details are hammered out, delegates are selected according to the state constitutions, they're sent to the convention to debate and ultimately possibly pass amendments, which are then sent to the states, where three-quarters, or 38, must pass and ratify the amendment. Now, the stated goals of the COS action, on the COS action website, of this movement are term limits, because we're not going to drain the swamp until a lifetime career in politics is not an option. We need to require fiscal responsibility, basically the Dave Ramsey plan, act your wage. And we need an amendment, very sadly, we need an amendment that basically says, hey, what do those words say? Read them. That's what they mean when it comes to the Constitution. No more of this, well, speech means anything and everything, from even defacing public property. But arms only means muskets, because they were too stupid to realize that other guns would ever be invented. We need to stop that crap. But honestly, at this point, I would propose a Fourth Amendment, which, at the federal level, would undo the LBJ law in Texas, and it would require all 50 states to adhere. If you are a government official at the federal level, because we're not going to dictate to the states how they work on their state level items, but if you are a federal official of any kind and you are running for federal office, you must resign the position you hold to allow someone to assume it who will be able to do the job. Now, I'm willing to stipulate that until the primary has happened and we know the official candidates for each party, allow them to stay. That way, of the 20 some odd candidates right now from the Democrats, all but one of them is going to end up going home. So, stipulate rules in Congress that you must still attend, I don't know, three-quarters of the normal time. Seems pretty reasonable. And then, because of course debates can be scheduled on weekends and so on and so forth, and your rallies can be scheduled around it as well. Once one person is the nominee, they resign all federal positions that they may hold, even honorary, allowing someone else to actually step in who will be there to do the job. Maybe then we wouldn't get this circus of candidates, all from one party, all vying for the position to scream, I'm a woman, you have to vote for me. I'm gay, you have to vote for me. I'm black, you have to vote for me. That's all we're getting from the Democrats. That's the only thing we get from all of them is identity politics. The rest we get is that I'll ban guns, and I'm going to raise taxes on the rich, and I'll be humanitarian at the border, and I won't detain anybody, and all the rest of this crap. Maybe if they had to give up their salary and actually live on their own money, which of course all of them have a lot of, they'd think twice before jumping into every race possible. You'll find in the description a link to the Convention of States where you can get more information and also track the progress of getting these resolutions passed in the states. We need 34 to call the convention. Don't listen to the Robert Reichs and the Deutsch people and the idiots in Congress that this is a danger and it's just going to destroy the Constitution, because it's not. It's actually following the Constitution to the letter to call this convention. It's not the first time it's happened. So there is precedent. For those who want to harp on Roe v. Wade being precedent, well, there's longer running precedent for a convention to be called. Get on the website and check it out. There's a link there to find someone in your local House or Senate district to contact them. Once you contact that person, they'll be able to set you up. We have different committees where myself, I'm a former firefighter, I'm a former teacher, I'm also very lightly former law enforcement. I help people who are going to be talking to those groups, talking to teachers, talking to firefighters, talking to law enforcement officers, and so on, so that we know kind of how that person thinks. And if you have a skill that you think you can bring to the table, we would love to have you. But I've talked about long enough. I've been on my soapbox about convention estates, which is one I jump on a lot. So let me know what you think in the comments. As always, remember to keep it civil. We don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. Also, please remember to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're the first to know of any and all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.